In June of 1950, war returned to the Korean peninsula. What began as a sudden invasion quickly escalated into a global confrontation, one that pitted Cold War ideologies against each other in the skies as much as on the ground. For the United States, air power was not merely a supporting arm. It was a decisive instrument, forged in the crucible of the Second World War and now tested again in a new and uncertain era. From propeller-driven heavy bombers that still bore the scars of World War II, to the first jet-powered aircraft ever sent into combat, the United States deployed a wide and formidable array of bombing machines. Each carried the weight of strategic necessity, technological ambition, and historical consequence. This film examines every U.S. bomber used during the Korean War, their design, their missions, and the legacy they left behind in a conflict that reshaped modern warfare. We begin not with the future, but with a machine already proven by fire, an aircraft that once reduced cities to ash, and would again become the backbone of American bombing power in Korea. B-29 Superfortress. The B-29 Superfortress was the undisputed heavyweight of the Korean War air campaign. Designed for long-range strategic bombing, it embodied American industrial might, 4 massive radial engines, a pressurized fuselage, and a bomb load capable of leveling entire rail yards, factories, and troop concentrations. Armed with up to 20,000 pounds of ordnance, and defended by remote-controlled gun turrets, the B-29 initially flew daylight missions deep into North Korean territory. Bridges, power plants, and transportation networks were systematically shattered under its bombing runs. However, as enemy air defenses improved and jet fighters entered the battlefield, the Superfortress adapted, transitioning to night operations where its range and payload could still dominate with reduced risk. From the opening months of the war until the armistice, the B-29 remained the primary instrument of strategic pressure, choking supply lines and reshaping the industrial landscape of North Korea. B-50 Superfortress. The B-50 Superfortress was, in many ways, the final evolution of a wartime giant. Externally similar to its predecessor, it featured more powerful engines, a strengthened airframe, and improved systems designed to extend the life of the Superfortress concept into the post-war world. In Korea, the B-50 saw only limited operational use. Deployed early in the conflict, it primarily conducted reconnaissance and select bombing missions before concerns over survivability led to its withdrawal from frontline combat. The skies over Korea were changing rapidly, and even improved piston-engine bombers faced increasing vulnerability. Nevertheless, the B-50 represents a critical transitional step, bridging the gap between World War II strategic doctrine and the jet-powered future that was fast approaching. B-45 Tornado. The arrival of the B-45 Tornado marked a historic turning point. This was the first jet bomber ever deployed operationally by the United States, and its presence over Korea signaled the beginning of a new age of air warfare. Powered by 4 turbojet engines, the B-45 traded payload for speed. It was not designed to obliterate cities, but to penetrate defended airspace rapidly, delivering precision strikes and conducting high-risk reconnaissance missions. Operating primarily from bases in Japan, Tornadoes flew deep into hostile territory where speed was their primary defense. Though its numbers were small and its service brief, the B-45 proved that jet bombers could survive and operate in combat conditions. It was a technological pioneer, laying the groundwork for the strategic jet fleets that would soon define the Cold War. If detailed accounts of machines like the B-45 matter to you, consider supporting this channel by subscribing. Preserving the technical and operational history of these aircraft ensures that their role in shaping modern warfare is not reduced to footnotes, or forgotten altogether. B-26 Invader. At the opposite end of the spectrum stood the B-26 Invader, a fast, heavily armed light bomber that became one of the most relentlessly employed aircraft of the war. Smaller and more agile than the strategic bombers, the Invader was built for endurance and punishment. Equipped with forward-firing machine guns, internal bomb bays, and external hardpoints, the B-26 excelled at interdiction. It hunted supply convoys, destroyed bridges, and harassed enemy forces under cover of darkness. Night after night, invaders prowled roads and rail lines, denying the enemy freedom of movement and rest. Its adaptability made it indispensable. Whether flying close air support missions or deep night interdiction sorties, the B-26 carried much of the daily burden of the air war, grinding down the enemy not through singular devastation, but through constant pressure. Together, these aircraft tell a story of transition. From the propeller-driven giants of World War II to the first tentative steps into the jet age, U.S. bombers in Korea reflected a military adapting in real time to new threats, new technologies, and a new global order. They dominated supply lines, shattered infrastructure, and imposed an air campaign that reshaped the battlefield below. More importantly, they forged the blueprint for modern strategic and tactical bombing doctrine, one that would define air power for decades to come. If I missed a specific variant or prototype in this comprehensive list, which one do you know? Tell me your knowledge in the comments below. Thanks for watching.